Lucas Paqueta, what a player he's turned out to be for West Ham. Massive doubts over him. I'm going to be honest, personally, when he starting to wonder where he was fitting into this team, where he was going to fit in. He just didn't look quite right. Struggling, wondering actually if he was going to fit into the Premier League. One memory I do have of him was Everton away in that game, and he was just nicking the ball over him all the time. He just looked totally so slow, and a real alarm bells ringing. But my word, Wiley, he's looking the part now, isn't he?
He is. I do still think he gives the ball away cheaply quite a few times. I've seen that in the Bournemouth game, and I saw that in the Arsenal game as well. But for me, as like a complete player, I think he's brilliant. Like I said, he's that cog in the team that can link the midfield to the attack. I love this new number 8 position for him, where he was sort of playing behind the striker in the number 10 role. And while he's played there for Lyon, I don't think he suits that role in the Premier League. He needs more time on the ball. He can't find those little pockets and operate in them, because he needs that bit more time on the ball to kind of orchestrate what he wants to do. And he'll get that in the number 8 position. So I think him switching to the number 8 position has been really, really beneficial for him. I think he's brilliant on the ball. His interplay, especially with players like Ben Rama, Creswell. He seems to have a really good understanding of Rice as well. Rice has been able to get forwards more often, and he's not afraid to put a challenge in. He's not this flamboyant, typical Brazilian player. He's a gritty guy. He can put a challenge in. I just think he's quite good defensively. So, yeah, for me, mate, I'm super impressed with Lucas Paqueta, and I'm glad that people did stick with him. And yeah.
Mate, like you said, when he first came, or when he started, showing a bit of form, the one thing I've always been very impressed with him is his defensive work. Just loves to get stuck in. He's not frightened to chase back. He really, really works hard every game, and it's something I wasn't expecting of him. I was expecting he might be getting more of a Payet kind of player. Like, I'm not going to really do any of the dirty work. Just give me the ball, and I'll do the beautiful stuff. That's what I was expecting of him. But he actually turned out to be the polar opposite. And like Dave and X have been saying on the podcast on Patreon, was that where's this flamboyant player? When are we going to start seeing the guy that's actually going to start opening up defenders and things, making things happen, dictating the game? I think we're really starting to see that now. I mean, he's been, like you said, mate, beforehand, when he first came to the club, David Moyes clearly didn't really know what to do with him. Put him as a number 10, like you said, like his role at Lyon, it just wasn't working at all, because we don't really suit that system anyway as number 10 role. We're not really geared up for that. And I just felt like he wasn't really getting on the ball enough, and that was the issue. And he wasn't able to sort of make an impression on these matches. He goes away to the World Cup. He's then, like you've said, went to a number 8 role, plays for his country. I think David Moyes has then taken note of that and thinking he clearly works better in this position. He's come back from the World Cup, and you can just see gradually, game by game, he's got better and better. And it's no surprise, mate, that probably the one game that he really, really stood out on the first time when you thought this is a very good player was the Arsenal game, and that's probably that was the catalyst of our turning our season. We turned that result round, that match round, to get the draw with Arsenal. We've not really looked back, and Paqueta's been absolutely exceptional since then. I mean, he was brilliant against Arsenal. Should have got man of the match. I think we gave it to Jared Bowen, actually, the Arsenal game. But he was very, very good, Paqueta. He was excellent against Ghent. Even against Ghent, if you remember on the first leg, I think he was on the bench, if I remember right. I think he came on for the last 20 minutes, and he was the best player by a mile. He just looked so, so good. And against Bournemouth, mate, again, another goal for him, dictating play. Yes, you're right. It can be a little bit casual at times. I think sometimes that's the only thing I'd probably say to him to sharpen up on. Don't keep switching off and thinking you can play a bit of a casual ball. You need to be really focused, because this league is so unforgiving. And maybe it's something he's still trying to find his feet. But I'll tell you what, if he is still trying to find his feet, which part of me does think he is, he's probably, because even David Moyes said that yeah, they really like him, but there's a lot more to come yet from him. You're thinking, my God, we could have a seriously good player on our hands here. And we talked about earlier in another video about the possibility of Rice moving on this summer and what the midfield's going to look like. But if you've got the likes of someone like Lucas Paqueta in there that's playing in this level, then my word, it does give you a bit of confidence, doesn't it, going forward?
Yeah, I feel like he's someone that we need to build our team around a little bit. He seems like that kind of player. I mean, when he came to the club, I was completely gobsmacked. Completely out of nowhere to have got that caliber of player at West Ham this season. It showed me meant business, and it, I think everyone's been quite harsh on him, to be honest. Like, he does give the ball away cheaply from time to time, and that is a valid criticism of him. And he took a while to sort of crop up with a goal or assist, but you know, he's not this flamboyant Brazilian player that we're used to seeing. He's a utility player. You know, he's there to pick up the ball, you know, drive forward. He's very good at like picking out little passes with certain individuals, and he's only going to grow into the team more and more. With someone like Declan Rice next to him, it's not difficult to be an amazing number 8. So I do hope that next season, if he does leave, we can get someone in, you know, say to him, look, who do you think you play best with? You know, what sort of player would you thrive in this team with? I think Paqueta is honestly someone we can start building this team around. Him and Scamacca, for me, are the future of West Ham at the moment.
Yeah, I do you know what, mate? And you've kind of convinced me there a little bit, because it's not something I've really thought about too much. But you're right. I mean, let's just say, for instance, that Rice does depart the club this summer. You then want to have a new talisman. You need someone in the middle to say, right, we're going to base this game around you. And you're right. Maybe that is what West Ham should be doing, is sitting down with Paqueta and saying, who would you be? Who would you choose to be your midfield partner? And then whoever he picks is no doubt it'd probably be someone he's played with probably previously and knows. I'd say let's go out and get him. Let's make that happen, because if we can keep him really happy, I mean, dare I say, he could be captain material. Who knows in the future? Who knows? But it's certainly very encouraging. I'm starting to, you know, I've said on here myself, where's this £50 million footballer? Why have we spent this money? I can't see it. You know, I'm just getting a bit exhausted. All he seems to do is track back, do the hard work, but when he's on the ball, he doesn't really do a lot. But that game, that's now changing, and now I'm actually willing to hold my hands up and say, do you know what, I was wrong. I'm starting to get very impressed with Paqueta now. I'm not saying I was right anymore. If I wasn't saying, I can't wait to see the back of him, but I was starting to think, you know, it's been every game I'm not seeing enough from this guy. But suddenly now my eyes have opened up to him, realising how good he is. And I really hope Moyes is right. And I'm sure he is, actually, that he's not the finished article yet, that he's still trying to find his feet in this league. But you can see by game, he's just getting a bit better and better as he's going and going. And you're just thinking, wow, like, I mean, now I'm looking to him, you know, we've got, I mean, this is actually going to be out, we're recording this before the Liverpool game, so I don't know. Obviously, we don't know what the result is on that. But I'm looking at that game. I'm looking at Palace. I'm looking at his game. I'm thinking he's one of those players that excites you. And this, you think, yeah, this is perfect for him. Get him under the floodlights. He's one of them players you just think he enjoys football. He just loves it. I'm sure he loves being in the spotlight, loves being flamboyant. Give him the ball and he'll enjoy it. And I think that's what we're starting to see now, mate. I'm really excited, and I think it's a key reason why West Ham have turned and started to get the results in.
I completely agree, mate.